What is up, EJ Casters? This is Gunsman2446 Money here, and today I have a wonderful game for you guys. This game is called Infinite Flight, Infinite Flight Simulator. This is a kind of a gameplay video I just kind of put together. I'm hoping you guys will enjoy this. There's a lot of planes in this game, or aircraft, if you will, that are involved in real life. They really aren't made up, so it's pretty realistic, actually. I mean, to an extent, it's a simulator, of course, on a phone, but for being on a phone, it is very impressive. Let me just start out with, so you start off with this screen. You can either go fly solo, fly online, or air traffic control. Basically, with air traffic control, you go to different airports, and you get to basically boss people around, or in certain ways, just kind of guide aircraft to different runways so they can take off, or basically you control the airspace of the area. So it's pretty interesting. Different point of view that some people prefer. You can either fly solo, which is basically you get to choose the airport that you go to, and there's different areas that you can buy. For instance, South Florida or London is $4.99. So that includes 128 airports, as you guys can see in like the middle bottom leftish corner there. It's pretty interesting. And you can choose like the visibility, such as like how far you can see, wind direction, so that can change. That can be a certain factor while you're flying. Wind velocity, that's definitely a factor. If you guys have ever experienced turbulence on an airliner, that's for sure. Wind gusts, so that kind of has to do with the wind again. Turbulence, light, moderate, severe, or extreme. And then temperature, which affects the air quality, or the air moisture in the air, which is most people might not think of that being a factor, well, like as in jet engines, but it really is. It causes like different thickness to the air, and it's pretty complex, guys. I don't know much, so I'm not going to say any more about that. But then you can pick. This is the most impressive part. There's all these planes you can choose from. Some of them you have to buy, which is kind of it's kind of sad, but if you have money for it, it's a very interesting game. If you don't have money, or you're not willing to spend any, it's still a game that any aviation enthusiast, or any type of person wanting to experience like flying fun, this is definitely a game for you. Like there's Airbus this is a military plane. The Airbus A318, A319, 320, 321, which is available for free. These are all planes like passenger planes, if you guys are in the basics of things. A330, 300, so they have 200F and they have 300. These are different models of this plane. The A340, 600, which is pretty cool. There's also way different types of skins you can choose, which is really, really cool. There is, of course, the A380, which is, if you guys don't know, the world's largest passenger aircraft, which is really a beastly jet. It's a beastly looking jet, I would say. There's many cool airlines you can put on here. Pretty world-renowned airlines. This is actually pretty realistic. There's Qantas, Malaysia Airlines, Lufthansa, Korean Air, Etihad, Emirates, which is a nice one. All of these are really nice. British Airways, Air France, things like that. So it's pretty cool. Then we go into the Boeing, the rivalry with Airbus, which is kind of cool. Boeing 717, 200, 737, 700. Then they have a whole list of versions of 737s. 700, the 700 version, you'll probably see mostly in Southwest or Southwest Airlines if you live in like the United States region or the European region. There's a 737 700 BBJ. So that's basically the Air Force One, if you will, or used for the president. It's kind of cool. 737-800, which is a more advanced version of the 737. Yet again, more different skins like this. 737-900. Now this is getting pretty advanced. Like I said, the whole bunch of skins. 747 VC-25, which is basically Air Force One at this time. A converted 747. This is used to carry the president. Its call sign is Air Force One when the president's on board. 747-200, so this is the old version of the 747. things like companies like Northwest Airlines, or Portugal, Air Canada, kind of like older airlines are listed on here, which is kind of cool. It's a nice little blast from the past if you're a little older individual. There's Air France, Air India, British Airways, Cathay Pacific, China Airlines, and my favorite, I'm trying not to be biased, but Delta Airlines. It's very cool. This is a 400 version, the most generic, like the most produced version, I would probably say. I'm thinking. I don't know that for sure. So, then there's the 747-8, which is the upgraded version or more long-range intercontinental version of the 747. Different skins for that, and Infinite Flight includes one of their own skins for their game itself, which is kind of cool. 777, 787, C-17 Globemaster 3, so they have some military stuff on here. CRJ 2000 Bombardier, they have the Dash too, which is kind of cool. Now we have the Cessnas 172 and 208, which are small aircraft. Cessna Citation X, which is a jet. Cirrus, Embraer, and then here's the fighters, FA-18, F-14, which is available for purchase, F-16C, the F-22, which costs money. I bought this for myself. P-38 is free. Spitfire VK, or Spitfire Mark 8, my bad. That's free, and the Super Decathlon is free as well. So, sorry guys for rambling on. Without further ado, I'm going to fly online. You do have to buy the online part of it. It costs $5 for, I think, a month of membership, so it's kind of costly, but it's a decent amount of time. There's three different types of servers. There's the Free Flight Server 1, where there's like no rules really. ATC Playground, which is like air traffic control playground. So this uses some rules and it enforces them to an extent. Then there's the Advanced Server, which is grade 3 or over, and I'll get into the grades later. And they are very strict on rules, and I haven't even been able to get up to that. Then this load that you'll see next to them is how many players are playing on it. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the ATC Playground. Actually, for this, I'm going to do Free Flight Server. And as you guys can see in the top right, my bad, it shows how many hours of flight I have in this gameplay time. XP that I have, 4,000 about, and my grade 2. And if you guys get this game, you'll be able to get more into that. But I want to start flying for you guys because I know you're getting bored of my talking. So this is what it looks like when it's loading, at least right now. You can see different airliners passing through. I'll turn the volume down for you guys, my bad. Right here, this is the F-22. There's Cockpit HUD, which is kind of cool. This is the HUD. And then this is more the cockpit sort of thing. This is pretty cool, the inside. It's pretty realistic. This is the highest graphics, so if you guys are looking for that. There's normal and locked on the side of it, which is kind of cool. The tail, bottom, left wing, and right wing. So that's like universal on almost every aircraft. And then this is my most favorite. It's like a follow sort of version. But I'm going to put full throttle. I'm not really following rules at all right here. But I'm just going to kind of take off. Alright, this would be extremely dangerous in real life, but I'm just going to kind of take off here. Try not to stall. Oh man. Yeah, I stalled. Yeah, that's not going to work. Sorry guys, that kind of failed. I'll go ahead and take off here. I just want to show you how fast this thing can go in comparison to other jets. You kind of have to be very delicate with this plane, see, and then it's very temperamental. So that's one of the examples. Let's fly the 747-400 here, Delta Airlines. This is pretty cool. I'm going to go and do ATC Playground for this one. You can choose what kind of airport you want and where most players are, and it shows like if there's air traffic controllers for it. That's where the air traffic control button comes from. But here's the 747-400. Like I said, very realistic. It has some nice graphics on it. I would say this is probably one of the best aircraft simulators or most realistic that I've ever seen in my life. But especially on a mobile device, I applaud big time. But let's announce our taxi to runway 28R. And you guys can get markers on the runways like this. I'm going to go ahead and taxi to that runway. You guys will see that here in a second. This is a very time-consuming game. I'm just going to let you guys know that now. Ooh, I didn't realize the runway wasn't there. I'm used to spawning in different places. I'm going to go ahead and taxi to 01L right here, 10L. That connects to 28R and 28 left. So yeah, I'm going to try to maneuver very quickly over there so I can get this video going, man or gal, whatever you prefer. And I'm going to go ahead and take off. That's just how it's going to work, I guess. So, like you see the Surrey kind of voice up there on the very top in the middle. There's different announcements from other aircraft and the air traffic controllers. I'm going to go ahead and set my flaps to 30%, which is kind of extreme, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to set my spoilers to armed. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and take this thing off. So bring the throttle slowly to 100. And there are current wind conditions in this game, so that gets pretty annoying. But you get used to it pretty quickly. I'm at 140 knots. I probably shouldn't have just lifted my nose off the ground. But I just took off. I'm going to go ahead and switch to the bottom. I'm going to take up my gear for you guys to see what that looks like. Come on. Okay, here we go. Slowly it'll retract its gear, which is very cool. If you guys want a different perspective of that, here's a very cool one. It's a nice flyby, which I think is just amazing. But yeah, then you can basically, at this point, there are speed restrictions under 10,000 feet. So like I said, in the ATC playground, where there are some rules enforced like this. You kind of have to follow them. But I'm almost at about 10,000 feet here, so I'm going to go ahead and decrease my trim. I don't even know I touched that. My flaps up to 0, and I'm going to arm my spoilers to flight, so we can go ahead and get on with this. So on the bottom here, you can see airspeed, altitude, MSL, heading, yoke. It's kind of real time. Vertical speed, this is all real time, by the way. The G-forces being put on the aircraft, and the load, which you can control in weight and balance here. Light, normal, or heavy. And I'm going to go ahead and do light for more maneuverability. But yeah, basically from here, then you can kind of announce inbound. I'll go landing on runway 28 LR. And I just got a speed violation, which is horrible. It really diminishes your grade, if you will. But yeah, from this point, then you can just bring your flaps down, bring the gear out. This is kind of extreme turning. But then you can kind of see how the gear comes out like this. And yeah, in real life, a pilot would not be doing this, just saying. Then you can land from here, which is kind of cool. I'm just going to kind of do some extreme maneuverability right here. So I'm going to kind of end this flight. I get XP, and my total XP is down there. And with these grades, you have to have a certain amount of flight time, 10 for being 10 hours, which is kind of insane. Landings, which like we were landing on the tarmac, I have 35, and grade 2 is 25. I need 50 for grade 3. XP, I have almost 5,000 and need 10,000 for grade 3. Ghostings, that means when you've done a whole bunch of restrictions and they basically just block you. Violations are like those red things that you just saw pop up. Speed violations. The flight time in 90 days, so accumulatively. Landings in 90 days, so that's also a factor. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and take off with the, I'm going to check the time, guys, sorry. I think I'm going to end off the video here. But if guys, comment below if you want a part 2 of this. There's definitely a lot more the game has to offer. So if you guys want to see more of this, or if you want to experience more gameplay through my eyes, go ahead and comment below, and it's your choice really. But please comment below if you want another part to this. So thank you, have a great day, and enjoy the rest of your day.